SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul, are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
This is everything you need to marry a Nigerian girl. Her father gave me a list of 39 items which include a live goat. The first place I went was the bulk food market to gather the yam, palm oil, baskets of fruit, and dried fish known as eja osun. And it's not just one yam or liter of palm oil, I am buying large quantities. It was pouring rain and I rented boots to make it through the mud, but it is worth it to marry my beautiful bride. In Nigeria, they practice dowry for marriage, paid to the family. In the Yoruba culture, each item is symbolic and not really a payment to the family, but rather proving your worth to marry her. And prove it I did by next heading to the goat market, where I spoke with a house of men to find the meatiest goat. This is the one I picked, and surprisingly, the goat at only $40 is one of the cheapest items on the list. This can't be done in one day, so after the rain cleared, I went to Mushin Main Market to find the kola nut, both bitter and regular, the alligator pepper, the adun, which specifically said I needed to buy plenty, and bottle of raw honey, which symbolizes that our marriage will be sweet. Next, I had to gather biscuits, bulk packs of different drinks, wine, and semen schnapps, as well as a suitcase full of new clothes for my fiancé to prove I can provide for her in the marriage, and lastly, the marriage Bible, as God will always come first. It is possible to pay someone to buy these items, but for me, I wanted the experience myself. Finally, we brought all these items to the family home for the wedding day. It is not easy to marry a Yoruba girl, but my bride is strong, smart, loving, beautiful, and completely worth it.
Yes, we are here this beautiful day, Wednesday, hump day, the midweek day in the month of March. George, I see you. My name is Mike Godwin, you are viewers, and we're here on our Wednesday African updates. It's good to have you guys. And from their end, who's there?
George Chukwu, all the way from Canada, and I want to welcome our viewers on this Wednesday Global African News. Welcome.
Nice. Nice, George. George, we know you guys changed your time. There is this thing that happens. Viewers from Africa, there is the daylight saving time thing that happens in abroad, in Europe, America, or the other parts of the world. So sometimes we go backwards, sometimes we come forward. And it causes so much inconvenience. George, I know Canada changed time, and is it affecting people's movement and things?
There's been a lot of debate about changing, leaving the time the way it is so that it will not change. It's affecting children, it's affecting driving. When you used to wake up at a particular time and the time changes, there's a psychological, physical, and emotional effect to that. And that is the reason why there's been a lot of debate that we need to leave the time the way it is and not change it anymore. Yeah, but we're still changing, so we have to.
We're still changing. We're
Yes.
still changing. We will be changing next week, but what we decided is to keep to the Nigerian time on our network, the SSM network. We just keep to, because Nigeria doesn't change time, but Ghana changes time. Some African countries change time too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't
Yes. Ghana does that, and but we will keep to the Nigerian timing for our program. So George, sorry for that inconvenience. Russia stopped it too. Russia stopped that daylight saving thing. They said it was like you said, it was affecting people, sleep and everything. Russia doesn't do that.
Insurance companies are actually noticing that during the time change, there's a lot of increase in accidents and driving. And, so these things are very, very. It's something that needs to be considered, and maybe to
consider. It needs to be considered, George. It needs to be considered. Okay. You're welcome anyway. Thank you for the inconveniences it brings to you, but you still find a way out. You maneuver and you're still here. You're welcome.
Love
that's good. Awesome, George. George, let's talk about when the Iran US-Israel war started, we talked about some full effects. We talked about how things will affect the global crude price and every other thing. Now, Nigeria is being hit strongly. Dangote cut petrol price to 1,750, like they say. They cut diesel also. And this is coming in a time when there is that global crude price problem, but he is cutting the price down. So what do you know about that? He's not here. What's that story, George? Is he making it?
Well, I think Dangote, in his usual way, just like I would say also, like Alan Onyema, who is the APC, the CEO for APC, the owner of APC, is always presenting himself as a philanthropic individual. He's always trying to help Nigeria, help our welfare. Dangote also is doing the same thing. So this is what he's doing. If the refinery truly passes and improved market conditions, so what he is doing is reducing the price of the refined oil to Nigerians, so that the global inflation on oil and all those things will not affect us. So it's a very positive move, and what we're seeing now is that the effect of the war, it is affecting the whole entire countries around the world. We see oil prices rising in Canada here. We've gone one level to the increase is more than 35% as we speak.
That's what he said.
Affecting everybody, affecting a lot of people's pockets. People still have to go to work and they have to drive, and for their daily maintenances and stuff like that. So this oil price is just affected simply because the movement of oil through the Iranian Gulf area is being affected because of the war. And then also the fear that, there might be some reprisal, if the ships are just constantly moving. So that's what we are seeing right now. So we are applauding for what he's doing.
Yes.
We thank him highly for that.
Good one. Yes, we do applaud the Dangote refinery. He said the decision is intended to assure Nigerians that the pricing mechanism remains responsive to global market dynamics. And he also said this is to give Nigeria a fair price system, fair price. So we appreciate this.
Another angle that we need to pay attention to is Dangote out with a very positive solution to the oil crisis that has been happening in Nigeria. Now, crude oil was as it goes up sometimes, it didn't used to affect Nigerian supply of refined oil to the nation. But after subsidy was gone, now thank God for Dangote, because if it wasn't because of him, the way the subsidy was stopped brought about pure hardship on everybody in Nigeria. And if it affected people so badly, can you imagine, increasing the oil, the fuel price from 300 to almost 1,000 something. That was not it wasn't the implementation was wrong at the time and the way that it was done. It would have been eased in. And this is one of these situations that we're talking about. You can't just go to the foreign country and then bring about, they have been developed and their system works better, and then you want to implement what they're doing without.
Yes. George, good talk.
People.
Good talk. Yes.
So now this is exactly what we need to start thinking about. We cannot borrow ideas from other countries. You have to study. How did they implement it? What was the consequence of that implementation? How do you make it easy on the citizens? So that's one thing that I believe that decisions must be made, because today people are suffering drastically in Nigeria. People are going through living hell in Nigeria, and part of the reason is not because of everything else that is happening around the world, is that because of decisions that are being implemented without thinking about the consequences on the citizens. Do we do it now, or do we ease it in? So you have to think about the people before you implement it, because the subsidy and the Naira change has actually brought about a lot of hardship on Nigerians, and today things are more difficult to get in Nigeria as a result of those implementations.
But some of our colleagues will not agree with you.
Because they are being political and tribal. That's what it is. If they don't agree with us, we know about economics. We understand. You see, because
but they bring their figures. They say the WTO, for example. But George, let's hold on tight. Don't leave this discussion. Let's bring in our diva, the only diva that joins most times in the midst of the men, Bidi Nana from Lagos. Bidi.
Good morning, our viewers.
Bidi, good morning.
Sir George, Massive Mike, good morning. Nice to see you guys here today.
Lightening up my day with your beauty.
Yes. So Bidi, hot discussion going on now. Viewers, we are here on our Wednesday, the 11th day of March 2026. We're discussing, we're taking it off to reality. Bidi, George, we're talking about the economy, situation of people. Thank God you're in Lagos. And I told George said something, and I said, George, some of our colleagues don't agree with all of this. They say life has improved. People are doing well now. Nobody's crying for food. So, George, you wrap it up, George, while Bidi tells us
Let me wrap it up. Okay. You see, it's one of the major issues. Implementing new ideas that will further help the economy in Nigeria is one thing. The wisdom will dictate that sometimes you don't have to just push it upon the face of the people. And what happened during the administration is from the first day that the president came in, he just blatantly just said, "Oh, subsidy is gone," without understanding the power of his declaration. Because you cannot just say that. We are saying subsidy needed to be removed because there was corruption within. But the way you apply it to the people so that it will not destroy lives, it's a matter of wisdom. And it was not done. And then you turned around and began to, bring about the change of Naira, judging Naira by the power of dollar and all those type of things. If you go to Nigeria today, many places you go to buy things, they're now charging you on the equivalence of the dollar. But that's not supposed to be so. You have to ease these things in slowly into the people so that they will, learn how to, to live by it. And when you push it upon their faces, especially the ones that are in the people that you're governing that are in the middle class and lower class, they will suffer drastically. That is what you are seeing today in Nigeria, where anybody that is dumb, blind, and deaf can even see it. So anybody that's coming over here and trying to tell you otherwise, those people they are hypocritical. That's what I call them, because the evidence is all over Nigeria that people are still suffering because of all these decisions that were made that were not, and wisdom was not used to apply them. So I don't care who that person is. They are being tribal. Bring me somebody from another part of Nigeria that is not from the West who will come up and pontificate on that and tell me the truth. That's what I would hear. Anybody else that is doing that is being political, and therefore they will just want to make sure that, our man looks good. I want him to look good. But yet you have to stand for the truth, and you speak the truth in love. That's what we do.
Okay. All right, George. Speak the truth in love. BD, you are there, Lagos. Tell us, what's the situation like with this Iran, America war, fuel, gas price, everything? How is it presently?
Situation is worse here in Nigeria because as of yesterday, I actually wanted to go to Owede, and I got to the filling station. I even forgot that they've increased fuel price. I got to the filling station for me to buy my fuel. I wanted to fill my car with 20,000 naira. And what was in my car could not even take me to Aja. So I have to go back and park my car. And, I didn't understand when I was driving out. The road was dry. A lot of people littered on the road. The bus stop were all filled up. There was no vehicle. All these downfall drivers, they were few. You can actually count them. So the situation in Nigeria is very, very difficult. And, I'm kind of done speaking to Nigerian government because you know why? Nigerians are going through a lot. We talk about naira devaluation. We talk about taxation. One of the things that is killing Nigerians too much is taxation. The way this government is taxing Nigerian citizens is 100 much. They tax everything. They tax everything. And I'm no longer blaming Nigerian government. I blame the Nigerian citizens who have refused to demand a better life for themselves. That's just my own now. I am done blaming Nigerian government. My blame now is to Nigerians who have refused to make a demand, to demand from their government, their legislators, their offices who are seeing to the affairs of ordinary Nigerians. Because these politicians, these people in power, they are living well. They have a good life, but an average Nigerian does not have a good life. If people tell you the kind of things they do just to have a meal on their table, you will not believe it. Things are very difficult in Nigeria. People are dying on a daily basis. See, death means nothing to an average Nigerian now because people die at will. People die anyhow. So the Iran, and my question is, they say, Nigeria is an OPEC member and Iran war is affecting everybody. Now, do we not, as a country that produces this oil, do we not have what they call reserve?
But BD, also, Dangote said he cut the petrol price to 1,075, and the other one to the diesel. So why is it not? And it took effect from 10th yesterday, 10th of March. So what are we hearing from you? So it's not reflected on the everyday activity.
Dangote is just
excuse me. I want to ask you a question to answer you. He said Dangote said he cut the price to 1,760 naira.
750. That's what we're hearing. Yes.
700. How much was the fuel before? That's what you will ask yourself.
So you have to ask that question. How much was
2 weeks ago? The fuel was
the
82 naira. As of 2 weeks ago, the fuel was 82 naira. As of last week, they took it to 200, and they now brought it to. I don't understand the way these people treat us as if we are food. You will not come in the morning, you increase this fuel. Then after one or two people make a statement, you then remove 200 naira from you, say you have brought it price. What kind of bringing down the price? Something we were buying for 82 naira, we're not buying it. Now, Dangote is selling 1,176 naira. If you go to fleet station, they are selling 2,000, 1,200. Some are selling 1,800. Do you understand? Now, that's not an decreasement. You took something to 1,200, and within 2 days, you brought it to 1,760 naira. Is that an decreasement? No, I don't. You know, when they talk like this, they make us look like as if we are stupid.
No, it's not that.
So,
not that. Massive Mark. What we have to understand is when we begin to value our naira in comparison to the dollar, and that was one of the major problems that we were having. You know, when this happened and they wanted to join the world in the way they were doing things, you got subsidy, and then you want to value your naira based on dollar, all of a sudden, everything that happens internationally will affect us. But the problem we have with that is that people are not faring well. You have not started from the very beginning. Other nations can do so and get away with it because their system is functionable and their system is equitable and their system is fair. And people are actually, the inflation is not affecting them. But you cannot just come and heap everything upon the people all at the same time without easing it in. And that's what you're seeing today. Can you imagine 20,000 naira to, it didn't even take you anywhere in your gas. That means a liter of gas is about almost 2,000 naira. How much can you use to transport yourself from Festac to Lagos Island? You ask all these questions. And how much are they earning? Was there any increase in the wages to equate or fairly be equitable for the increase in prices? So this is nothing but the weaponization of war poverty upon the people, whether intentional or unintentional. These things ought to be done. And when the world is going in that direction, where because of the war that is taking place in Iran, and the prices have, going up, she asked a very good question. Where are the reserves that we have? Because a lot of other nations are now going into their reserves and pumping it out in order to ease the pain upon the people. Don't sit in the they can sit in buying houses, and then you have already turned around and use our money, taxpayers' money, to increase the solar system in Aso Rock, so it will not affect you. So what we are saying is, be a compassionate president who cares about the people and know what the people are going through and make decisions that will affect the people fairly, equitably, and justifiably. So you can't just leave people to be dying. The funniest one is Massive Mark. People can die in other countries, and we can have statistical evaluation and statistical numbers that can actually tell you, almost exactly how many people die. But in Nigeria, it is not the same. People are dying of hunger, dying daily, and nobody knows about it because people will go and bury their dead. And we need government that governs by what people are going through. Because look at this. Look at what happened. The Senate increased their wages. The House of Representatives increased their wages. 70,000 that they said that they were supposed to be paying. Only a few a number of government states are doing it. The rest of the businesses can afford it. So what do you say to that? And the prices are increasing every day. The prices of fuel, the prices of food, the prices of clothing, importation, and all those things. Everything is increasing. The people are still there dying daily.
All right. Very sad report. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
See, this US-Israel-Iran war that is actually looking like it's going to be the Third World War started just on 28th of February here. Not even up to 2 weeks. This thing started, and Nigerians are already suffering it. Now, what if this war gets into a full-blown war? Then Nigerians will die off. I'm telling you, even the Iran, the Israel that this thing is affecting, Their people are not complaining yet. The only effect they are having is the effect of the war. But things are still moving on well there. But just within a week, Nigerians cannot even see fuel to buy. The prices of foodstuff is even affected, because one thing about Nigeria, once any 10 kobo is added on petroleum in this country, everything goes high. Because our country is a petroleum
we blame the presidency on issues like this. Like our colleagues, or other colleagues will say, Nigerians themselves too, we are evil-hearted. We capitalize on situations and exploit the people. So it's not.
No, Massive Mark. Let me tell you something. It all comes from the leadership. It comes from,
exactly.
If you have the mouth to tell me that subsidy is gone, and you see the whole chaos happening all over the world, why can't you come out and say this is the implementation? Yes, indeed, it is making the people to suffer. But if I catch anybody doing such and such, or here is a number, if you see any gas station that is doing such, manipulating people, or whatever the case might be, call this number, we will stop it. So you have the power to say subsidy is gone, but you don't have the power to come out and tell people, okay, maybe in order to ease the pain upon the people, let us increase prices. Let us not increase prices to such and such. Because if you allow people, where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. And that's what's happening in our country.
That's what's happening now. Yes,
BD. Good or bad. Because tomorrow, if it is good, they will say, we will praise them. But when it is bad, it is upon them. So that's what leadership is all about. Don't blame anybody.
Regulation. We don't have regulation in this country.
The toll gate is not even finished. The children came out and said, we cannot allow the police to be abusing us and destroying us. And they massacred thousands of them. And they still, some of the bodies are not even buried up until today. And you're telling them to come out again and get killed? Come on, man. Let's be for real.
So, okay, let's go to another story around you there, BD. The Lagos State government says there's another growing. We've been talking about electricity, light, Nigeria, light. But anyway, Lagos State is making some effort. He said he inaugurated a commission board that will look into electricity. BD, the question now is, all of these commission board we want electricity. So how is Lagos going about electricity? How is Lagos going about it?
See, in the past 2 weeks now, it's getting to a month now. The electricity in Lagos State has not been stable. It's been horrible from what it used to be like 3 months ago or last year. Electricity in Lagos has not been it. I am telling you. And it's not just my area. If you go online, you listen, you hear people saying it. The electricity in Lagos State has not been it. I'm telling you, and people are not keeping quiet about it online. I thought when it started in my area like 3-4 weeks ago, I thought maybe it's a transformer, all this thing, or maybe national grid. But when I went online, I found out that everybody is complaining the same thing. So this Lagos State government is saying, I don't understand, or maybe probably we can still see it, but electricity in Lagos State has not been stable. As long as I know.
You see, I commend Lagos government highly. Yeah, because they are, is a step in the right direction. And what we are seeing is actually, a step towards decentralization of and the reforming of the power sector, especially Electricity Act of 2022. It reflects a strategic effort by Lagos State to make take greater control of its electricity market and reduce the dependence upon the the centralized NEPA situation. But if this is effectively implemented, the Commission could actually unlock the significant private investment in power generation, distribution, and infrastructure within Lagos, creating the regulatory certainty investors typically demand when it comes to this. So it is a good thing for them, because we continue to depend upon NEPA, and nobody is going to fix the grid or going to increase the the wattage in the grid. Therefore, this centralization is good for the nation. And what Abba is Abia State is done,
Yes.
or is part of it. So many states will have to take the bull by the horn, do it for themselves. Decentralization is good. That way, people can no longer depend upon this old grid that is not doing anything, that is just messing the whole entire nation up, up and down. So ultimately, Lagos now carries the responsibility of setting a credible example of other states navigating post-reform electricity governance. If the regulatory framework delivers transparency, efficiency, and improved power supply, it could become a model for sub-national electricity market reform across the whole federation. So that's what we are seeing here, and we commend them very highly. Other governors take note and do likewise, so that this thing can ease upon the people. But listen, there's another warning that is taking place in spite of all of this, because there are so many other people who have actually taken upon themselves to create their own power generation. Now, what they have done, especially with many hotels and restaurants who demand this power daily, they are manipulating them. It's almost like, they're putting them in a place where they cannot even move. They put prices on them that they must pay. And you just think about if you have a hotel and people are staying there.
You're paying.
I'm increasing my price because all your prices increasing. And I put it like 25% or 30%. You must pay or it's shut down.
You must pay.
So these are things that needs to be regulated and controlled.
Regulated and controlled. Thank you very much. So, BD, let's hope that the plan will help ease and bring steady electricity supply.
I hope so, and I believe Governor Sawolu, I know what he can do. I hope that this team he has inaugurated will actually do good work. But another thing Lagosians to expect in this kind of inauguration, this kind of move, is that they are going to pay more. That's it. Lagos State don't just get into something without making you pay more. But an average Nigerian will say, I don't mind paying as long as you give me the services.
Yeah, think about it. When you think about what you said, paying more, isn't it better that you pay more and get the services rather than you are paying without even getting the services? Nigerians have been paying for darkness for the longest, because whether they supply you light or not, they still charge you. That's what they have been doing. So
that's what they've been doing.
Yes. So you give me the services, even if it's a little higher than what it's supposed to it used to be, but let me pay it and get my light.
Let me pay. Let me and get the light. All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much, BD. We also want to know the other things in terms of this Iran and all this. Does it affect flights in Nigeria? Is there any security risks? Are there any risks, heightening security risks? Tell us what's the outlook like? The 1 week of Iran, US, and Israel on Nigeria.
Sorry, please, I didn't get the question very well. Please, can you come again?
Yeah. Yes, I'm saying that. Tell us, what are some of the ripple effects of the Iran-Israel war in Lagos, Nigeria? Are there security risks? Are there things happening that it connects to that? Are there also travels and any impact on travel, air travel, the global food chain also? What are all these? How does it affect?
Of course, it's not affecting it directly, but at least the compliances in the airport now is taken very, very serious. In the airport, compliances, security check they are not taking it lightly in an international airport now. People have been saying about it, but there's still movement. But that of Iran and Egypt, there's no free movement like it used to be. But in other countries, there's free movement, but compliances and security is really, really top notch, like people have been saying. That's one thing I know.
Okay. All right. So, George, we also expect around the world? Will this ease, or will there be more heightened security risks, disruption in supply,
There
inflation,
should,
and all
there
that?
ought to be,
Mhm.
there must be. There is no question whatsoever, because Iran is strategically placed, and when it comes to ships, delivering goods around the world, many of these ships actually pass through Iran, and
Yeah.
for the reason because Iran is increasing their their warfare against many Gulf countries like
Yes.
Bahrain and all the rest of them. They're fighting them. These people are not involved, and they use it as an excuse because they allow US to have bases. Therefore, they are fighting. So that is one of the major issues that is causing this thing to become even more than what it's supposed to be. Because when they are just bombing different places, so you don't know what is going to happen. And indeed, it is going to affect, because many people will not be willing to ship their goods right now. You don't know what is going to happen on the way. Is it going to be delayed, or is it going to be, be destroyed? So definitely, the world economy is being affected. But the reason why I am saying this is because a country like Nigeria, who is not even, who is in Africa, ought to have a buffer zone in the decision making. Because what is happening is, when a situation like this happens, the president ought to come out with a positive decision that will ease the pain upon the people, so that the people will not continue to suffer, because they have already been suffering, and then added with this, come on. What is the
Added with
leadership?
this,
That's what we're talking
come
about.
on.
We need a constructive leadership in Nigeria, which I believe that they are doing. But when an emergency situation like this happens, there ought to be a decision to be made in order to ease the pain from the people.
That's very
So,
true.
George,
So, yes,
the
go ahead.
Nigerian governments are not thinking in that direction you're thinking.
Well, that's
And the
why we are
people
in the
around,
news. That's why we're in
and
the news. That's why we have
and the
to
people,
call it to the attention. Because let me tell you
yeah,
something about the Nigerian government. When the noise is made enough, especially in international media, they
space.
pay attention. The government pays attention. There are decisions that they have made in the past that they have changed simply because the media, is pouncing on it. So I believe that we are the ones who is going to call it to their attention. It's not about complaining about problems. It's about bringing solutions, because even if they're not thinking, they can be able to hide the solution from you, implement it to ease the pain upon the people. They're sitting in their high places. Let me tell you. And most of the time, it is us who know what is happening in the street, on the streets, that will tell them this is what is really happening. If you don't tell them, they'll be sitting high and mighty, and no decision will be made. So it is our responsibility to call their attention and give them a plausible solution to implement in order to ease the pain on the people in the country.
So, yes, Billy, tell us. You were
Yeah.
going to say that yes. What is it that you were going to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I said the Nigerian governments are not thinking in that direction. Yes, I just said that we need to bring it to their notice. I pray they listen. But they are keeping quiet you see, if you look at what is actually unfolding in the world, if you look at the countries, the pattern, you will agree with me that Nigeria might be one of the next targets for these jihadists. I'm telling you, if you look at what is happening, look at what is happening in British, in UK, look at what is happening in Texas, look at what is happening in France. So, Nigeria is having the same pattern, and Nigerian government have not said anything. Rather, our brothers and sisters from the north have been protesting, saying they are standing for Iran, protesting, marching, stepping on Iran and Egypt and US flag, showing their solidarity. And Nigerian government have not even made any statement. A reasonable government, I expect them to come out and say, caution their people on what they are doing, disassociate themselves with this act, but they have kept quiet. They have kept mute on this act, which can easily affect us. And like I was telling somebody, if these people
But anyway,
decide,
we feel that every human being, has the freedom of speech, freedom
Yes,
of protest,
that's one thing that I wanted to mention.
anything.
They have the
In
freedom
fact,
to protest.
yeah,
You have a
we are
freedom of
also
speech.
we're also
I want to agree with you. You have a freedom of speech, but not the freedom of speech that will indict the life of everybody. Do you understand? You have this freedom that is indicting.
Really, that's a very dicey area to go into, because number one, if you as a citizen of Nigeria, let's just say for instance something is happening as a Christian and you want to support Israel, and you start talking loudly or protesting against a decision made that is affecting Israel as a nation, you don't want to be stifled, you don't want to be muted. So these people, they have their own constitutional religious right to come out and protest and say we don't like it. Not every Nigerian is doing so.
Now, can I remind you something? When you're right, I quite agree with you. You're 100% right. Now, let me remind you something. When there was a protest of change of government, some ladies from the north hosted a Russian flag. Do you know Nigerian government was quick to arrest them? I'm not saying that we should stop them from speaking or supporting Iran. I'm not saying that. But showing pictures where they are continuously stepping on Iran and Egypt and US flag. That's the one I'm talking about. You can speak, you can support anybody without stepping on their flag. It's indicting a country, not just you. You can speak. You can say what you want to say. But
anyway,
wait a minute. In this area that you're talking about, it is very, very important that we ought to respect other people's, like stepping on flags and doing all those things is not good. And remember, it's not all Muslims that are, actually advocating for this. Only the Shiites. Those are a handful of them that are advocating. The other group of Muslims that belong to other factions are not even saying anything. So that's something we need to be careful about. Yes, indeed. When they start, insulting other nations by stepping on the flags and burning flags, that's where the government needs to come in to caution them to be careful on what they are doing. Yes, you're right in that area.
And that brings us to this young man here, the young man you see on that photo there. We want to. He's a content creator, like many young people these days, and he came up with a statement. He came up with his own views on what is happening in Nigeria. But funny enough, he was arrested. The DSS took him in, and we feel that this is an infringement of his rights as a human being to himself. So we're also calling on the DSS to free. The name is Sariki. His handle is was Papa on X. So he just made his own comment and he was picked up. So we think we don't
know. Massive Mark, we have to be very, very careful. No,
George, listen. Listen. I followed the story. Man, listen. I have the article he wrote. There's nothing careful about.
Is it? Are you sure? How can you say that this is because of that article that he was arrested?
Yeah, no, that's it. I got a call. I was with Sowore yesterday. Sowore and I were discussing, and he also gave me an insight to what happened. So there's nothing. Just he made a comment, and DSS just picked him up because they felt it was too extreme. Because his comment was to Iran, So there's nothing. The thing is, our security arms go for very soft target, like the family always say. They go for vulnerable people that are not. They just the real thing they should work on. They don't. They just come on this little. This is petty to stop somebody that just wrote something, his own views, and you're picking him up. Take note that we are media people and we talk a lot here. So imagine saying something and it means you're being arrested because you said you made an opinion. So it shouldn't be. That's what we're saying.
Well, it should not be if it is true completely, and that if that's the reason why they picked him up. Because number one is you have to go back and read everything that he said in the past. Was there any place where he violated something, or is this something that they have been watching him because he's been violating things?
No. Take note that the Senate, George, get the grand story. Remember, the Senate passed a bill on social media and expressions and everything. Remember that. So that's what they are holding on. You know, that some people, some individuals use the talk of social handle to say anything, condemn things, and incite words against the government. So it's nothing to. I went through what he wrote. I don't see anything there. We say more than that. Even what we say here sometimes is even more than what he said. So anyway, we call on the DSS to leave such issues.
I want to say something to this. I just want to both of you to, and the questions Sir George has been asking. The truth is that in this country, Nigerian governments don't have any reason, and they don't have any tangible reason for arresting the people they want to arrest. One of the reasons Nigerian government arrests people is because they want to silence them. They don't want people to speak. It's not because people are committing any offense or breaking any laws. No. They arrest people once they know that you're speaking the truth, you're trying to enlighten the public, you're trying to bring some certain things to the notice of the public, they will arrest you. Not because you're committing any crime, not because you're breaking any law. That's what this government of APC is doing. So he's not the first person they arrested. Now, I was just telling you where Nigerian government need to act, but they will not act. But where they don't need to act, they will be quick to act.
Well, how come, you see from this platform, a lot of people are attacking somebody like Rufai Oseni because he tells the truth. Some people on this platform are attacking him, not because he's done anything wrong, but he tells it like it is. He tells the truth, so blatantly. So, and they don't like him for that. So what I'm saying is this. Yes, Rufai is not arrested by anybody. He tells it like it is. And he's covered.
He's covered because he's covered by the network.
Do you know why he's not arrested? Do you know? Do you want me to tell me why he has not been arrested? Do you know? During after 2023, they invited him 2 times, but Ndoka Obabana, his Oga, is always there guiding him. He's not arrested because he has a covering over him. That's why he has not been arrested. Do you understand? In Nigerian government, people don't commit any crime. People don't break any laws. It's like somebody like me. I know people tell me, I will not be bothered any day they say they pick bidding Nana up. And that will not stop me from saying the truth. They are not picking people because you're committing any crime or because you're breaking any law, but because they don't want you to speak, because they want to silence you. They don't want you to educate or inform the people for them to know what they are not doing right. That's why they are arresting people, not because people are committing any crime. Just know this.
All right. A follow-up of that, what you guys are saying is the Senate President yesterday also saying legislative arrangement provides solution beyond social media. Apapio was telling Nigerians this. He said what they are doing is above what social media is doing. So, but do you guys agree with that? And he's telling citizens to look more into things which is not the social media stories that people normally carry. But is social media not helping news, the flow, and some other things like we're saying here? George, go ahead.
No, you see, because one thing you have to understand, people are people, and people will always behave like people. Now, just because we are balanced in our views here does not mean that everybody that comes out there is not looking for an opportunity to go viral. So many people do a lot of things to go viral, and most of the things they do might not be ethical. Most of the things they do might not be moral. Most of the things they do might not be legal, but they still do it. So when he is talking about that, the Senate President is talking about that, he might be talking about in the sense that so many people will come out and just blow up his story, make it what it's not. So now, in essence, really, it is important that we also, as a group here, that is pontificating on stories and on issues, that we remain balanced. Tell it like it is. You can give your own opinion, and then, as an individual, and allow it to fly, but not at the expense of another. Because there are so many things that can happen, you can say, that can inflict pain on people, or cause chaos, or incite violence. So we got to be careful with all of those things, because freedom of speech ends when another person's freedom begins. You don't have to hurt people. No, these things are the things we need to have put in consideration. We got to be in the middle. We must be balanced in our views. That's what I believe.
Now, can I say something? You see, this being careful is why Nigerian media is where it is. And I will say it here and I'll say it any day, and I've been saying it. I'm saying that the major people who have kept Nigeria where it is today is the media and the judiciary. Yes, it's the media. If the media are doing their work the way they're supposed to do, I don't know why, as a media person, you should be afraid to say the truth or say things the way it is. You are afraid of stepping on toes, because a lot of us are not here to do the work. We are just here for our pockets. Listen what this guy at Al Jazeera did. No Nigerian media will do it. I'm a media person. I've worked in Nigerian Television Authority. I used to have a program. I will record and interview people. I will take it there for them to broadcast. When they previewed, they were asking me, why are you forcing him to answer that question? It's obvious he doesn't want to answer that question. And they will not televise it. And that is how they will reduce the media. The thing is that we don't understand that we are the fourth estate of the realm. That is one of the things they taught us when we were doing this course as a media people. It's a course we read, and we should defend it and speak like we know what we are doing, not speaking to patronize some people or for our pockets. That's the mistake where all the media have gotten it wrong. And each time I keep saying it, the problem of Nigeria is the media and the judiciary. And I will say today, say tomorrow, and we'll keep saying it until we understand that what the meaning of fourth estate of the realm, and we stand and defend it. This country will not get better.
Strong one. So anyway, yes, the fourth state of realm, but also take note that some media homes also doctor and do things to for the interest of some other interest. You were giving the example of the Al Jazeera. Now we did some background check on that interview with the Nigerian APC spokesman. We found out that Al Jazeera is also at fault at what they did. They doctored that whole interview. That whole interview was not the real thing. They doctored it for some reason. We don't know whose interest they were trying to protect.
So, you believe that propaganda? You actually believe that propaganda, that it was doctored?
No. Yes, it was. The real thing. You need to watch the real thing. There is a real broadcast. What we saw was cut and joined, and I don't know why they did that. It was not the real thing. Anyway, most media homes also protect the image of some the interest of some politicians, and so therefore they could be putting out stories that will support or make other opposition or whatsoever look. But what George says is what I'm holding on to: balancing whatever it is we are doing, staying right.
Most times, what we do is we lie. We protect the interests of the people in the name of balancing. That's not balancing. Okay. We lie, we protect interests, and we call it balancing.
Well, Nigerian media is Nigerian.
So anyway, yes. Let's just do.
It cannot be perfect. So we will continue until it is being perfected, but it's not perfect yet. So
yes,
many areas that needs to be attacked in order for them for it to get better. But as it stands right now, we're still living, partially in the shadows of the military rule. That's we're heading towards democracy. We're not there yet, unfortunately.
But we will. We will. Hopefully. All right, gentlemen. Beautiful. The discussion is going so well here. Viewers, this is Wednesday, midday, hump day, 11th of March, and we are doing our African global update. George, let's just do some small international news. We heard that The Iran football team went to Australia. We were waiting for our man in Australia to come and tell us more. And they all, like 5 or 6 of them, all began to seek for asylum. So that means that a lot of people are also losing faith. A lot of Iranians are losing faith in the sovereignty. They feel the country has collapsed and they have to run away, because we heard a lot of countries are taking them in. Some Scandinavian countries are taking many Iranians into their homes and keeping them in the shelter and all that. George, you got those news? Did you hear anything?
Yeah. I heard that about 5 players sought refuge primarily due to the fear of possible punishment or prosecution in Iran after they refused to sing the national anthem during the match at AFC Women's Asian Cup in 2026 in Australia. In Iran's political climate as it is right now, such act can be interpreted as a dissent against the state, exposing athletes to accusations of disloyalty or traitor narratives and conservative comments. So one of the, you remember that recently part of the reason why they're being fought against is because they accumulated a lot of protesters, and many of them were not even jailed; they were killed, masses. So the situation was further complicated by heavy monitoring by officials accompanying the team, which limited their ability to move freely or speak openly during the tournament. Concerns from the activists and fans and human rights advocates suggest that the players might face state pressure or reprisals upon them coming home, prompting the request of humanitarian protections, and that's the reason why they're seeking this asylum in many places. And if I was to be in their shoes, believe me, I would seek asylum, because that's a country where you cannot come out and say anything. You remember the lady that they killed simply because of a comment that she made. Ultimately, the decision reflects on the broader concern for personal safety and freedom, which led to players accept humanitarian visas offered by the Australian government under the authority of Immigration Minister Tony Burke. So that's what it is. That's a view. So I don't blame them whatsoever. If they come to Canada, Canada should allow them to receive asylum also, because there is no need to live in 2026 living like you're still in the 17th century.
Yes, so viewers, those are images we got from that whole thing. That's the secretary there and the 5 young ladies. In fact, there's a 6th one too now. There's another one that has joined that last night, making it 6th.
And giving them this asylum also will also, they can facilitate their citizenship, and then these people will start representing Australia, which gives
exactly the question I want to ask. Now that Australia have taken them in, are they going to be playing for Iranian from there, or
No. I think that what they can do is, once they are in there, they can give you papers, and they can give them residency. And once they have residency, they can actually represent Australia rather than Iran. These people are running away. They don't want to go back. You don't want to go over there and get unalived. And this is something that nobody hears about you again.
Yes. Okay, then the other story from that side of the news is that, interestingly, Russia is trying to play a peacemaker in this whole Iran-Israel war. We at this point we miss Dr. Godwin. Would have from him. They say Putin is putting himself in that position of peacemaking. But how do you become a peacemaker when you're also
fighting against Ukraine and refuses to stop the fight?
Honestly,
that's hypocrisy in the highest order. Hypocrisy.
I tell you.
It doesn't make
sense. The story is that he's trying to use this to also look good before the Americans, for Trump, and also look good with the Iranians. He doesn't want to be, because take note, many world leaders are not even saying anything. Many people are not aligned to anything. They want to be neutral because of what they gain from both ends. but he is coming in as a peacemaker. Interesting.
He's not coming in as a peacemaker. Let me tell you something that is happening.
Okay.
Like I say, a country actively prosecuting a war of its own lacks the moral and diplomatic neutrality to required to serve as a trusted broker in another international conflict. Because number one, they are supplying Iran with information about how to destroy America. They are the ones giving Iran the information where the military stations are around the world and give them the opportunity to hit America back. Russia maintains a strategic partnership with Iran, and his historical cooperation with Iran on military, political, and energy matters. The alignment raises legitimate concerns that Moscow could prioritize its geopolitical interest rather than the balanced resolution to conflict involving the United States of America. So what we're seeing here is this. They have no moral standing whatsoever to come and say they want to do this or want to do that. You see, because there's no way they're going to side with America. It is impossible. They will always side with Iran because these are their allies. So there is also a broader strategic risk here. Giving Russia a central diplomatic role could expand its influence in the Middle East and provide geopolitical leverage against the United States and its allies. So these are the reasons why they should not even be allowed. That question should not even come into anybody. That these people 4 years and going, they are fighting Ukraine, and you want to come and become a middleman between Iran and the United States. What moral standing do you have to do so? America should reject it. What we need to do is to see Trump rise up against Putin and this mess that is going on, rather than cowering to him.
You see?
Trump,
yeah.
When I saw that video, I listened to Putin. I listened to him. I saw the video when he was making that video, and as I was listening to him make that video, I was like, "What a hypocrisy! You're holding someone down. You've been holding someone down for going to 4 years, and another person is holding another person's down, and you're quick to stand up, raise your neck, and say, "Oh, don't hold him," while you're still holding someone's down. And now he has been accused. This was openly in CNN, accused of giving out U.S. resources information to Iran. Giving Iran good information about US, their movement, their aircraft, their ships, how they are moving, giving it to Iran. And he has not even come out to deny it. He has not come out to deny it, and he's still saying, "Oh, there should be no war." It's just hypocrisy. I'm telling you. It's just, and I know nobody's going to take him serious.
Yeah, nobody's going to take him serious. Okay. So anyway, because these are the updates we've been following, and we know more things will be happening. The IGP says he vows, the new IGP Olatunji Disu says he vows to reclaim some of the communities that Boko Haram and all these bandits, ISWAP, all of these things have overrun. Can that work? Can he do this without the state policing that we've been talking about? How does he go about reclaiming communities when some of those communities have now become ISWAP Dane, their hideouts and the rest? What do you say about that?
I like the kind of things that come to Nigerians. I like how these people take us for play because they know that we can reason beyond the stage we are. Tunji Dusu was appointed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who do not want to do anything about this Boko Haram. And now you come, say you want to do something. And I will not be among those people who even take him serious, let alone believe in him. Yes, because for you to work, the person that appointed you, your leader, should be able to work. Do you understand? Gumi came out yesterday on the national television and accused the Nigerian government of knowing all these terrorists by name and their location. And he said that I don't move alone. Each time I move with government officials, police, army, and some women. And they have not come out to deny it because it's true. Now, you, the Tunji Dusi, who your men follows these terrorists around, coming out to tell us you're going to reclaim. Reclaim what? No. He needs to tell us the name of what he's intending to reclaim, because they can't be taking us for a ride. I don't blame them, because that is what Nigerians have actually made themselves to be.
Yes.
It's a very sad one indeed. Like I have always said here on this platform, that there is a game being played. The truth is not out yet. I've always said it. There's a game being played. People, they're playing with people's lives. These people can be taken care of, whether they like it or not. Even if you don't take care of it, you can limit their power and their ability to do all these things that they are doing. There is a complicit somewhere. Somewhere the government is complicit of this whole entire saga that is happening. If not, war would have been, raised against these people and destroyed them. There is somewhere, somehow, the truth is not out yet. It's sifting out a little bit. How many of them have been arrested? How many of them have been killed? How many of them are in jail? How many of them have been prosecuted up until today? And every time the intelligence comes to Nigeria, to the military or to the Nigerian government regarding these people's movement, all of a sudden there is a sabotage from within. Who is giving them that information? Why are they giving them that information? Up until today, who was the person who ordered the military to leave their posts and allow these people to come and cause havoc? And then after they have left, the military came back. Something is going on. We're not fools. Come on. We can see what is happening. So some kind of way, these promises that are being made, or we're going to defeat the insurgency, or we're going to, reclaim some territories. These are nothing but, political talk. Show us. Talk is cheap. Show us action. Show us these people that are being killed. Look at these little children that are being shown carrying guns and putting on dead soldiers' uniforms. And they are there training these young people already 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. They're training them, changing their mindset, giving them guns. And we are here playing. We are playing. What we are doing is just playing games that doesn't even amount to nothing. The North does not want these people to die because they need the population politically. That's another thing we don't understand. The North is diametrically opposing you killing them because these are the people they use in numbers as part of the, making the Northerners even more in population than the South. But these people are causing havoc in the nation, destroying the image of our government. The government must stand up and make sure that these people are destroyed permanently. This rehabilitation nonsense they are talking about is just
permanently.
The government is playing the game. Rise up against these people and take care of them once and for all. Let Nigeria rest and sleep.
Now, let me tell you why Nigerian police will not achieve anything and why Nigerians will not make success. In that speech, Tunji said that he's going to reclaim all the communities that bandit terrorists have reclaimed in Kwara State. Now, before he was appointed the DG of police in Nigeria, a lot of communities has been lost to the bandit terrorists from Boronu to Kwara to Zamfara to Jos to Benue, to Enugu. They have lost them. Now you said you're focusing on Kwara State.
Okay.
Did you see it? So you say, I wouldn't want to say what I want to say, but let me tell you, we are not ready. When we are ready, we will stand up. Our police will stand up. Our military will stand up. How can you work as a police officer when your president, your Senate president, will determine where you will work? They will determine where you will shoot. They will determine where you will do some certain things. How can they work? Now, do you people know that in Nigeria today we've lost over 100 soldiers and nobody's saying anything about that? And you're telling me you're going to reclaim what? Are you reclaiming what your president wants you to reclaim, or you reclaim what you want to reclaim? It's not possible. So let's tell ourselves this truth.
We don't know where the crack is. But one thing we know is that the president would not want his administration to be maligned or to have that negative image around the world. I honestly believe that his hands are tied somehow, somewhere. Because when Gumi was talking about yesterday, listen to how confident and comfortable he was saying all this. And you know he's telling the truth. He's not making it up. If he's making it up, been picked up long time.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been compromised. His ambition has made him to be compromised. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is standing between Nigerians' life and his ambition of becoming the Nigerian president come 2027. And he has chosen to become the president, and he doesn't care if all of you are wiped out within a day. That is where we are today.
That's not true.
I cannot make some statements.
Don't believe that.
I'm not saying for you to believe.
I want to believe that, George. I want to believe that because truly,
I'm not saying it for you to believe. I'm saying what I know and what is the truth.
No. That's your truth. That is your truth. Say, this is my truth. This is my opinion. You cannot say that emphatically like that as if, no, I do not believe. I honestly
now, George, I want to give you a little history. Listen. Before Buhari became the president of Nigeria, Katsina in the far north was one of the peaceful states in Nigeria. Katsina was one of the peaceful states in Nigeria, apart from the religious stuff. But before Buhari left office, Katsina became one of the worst states in Nigeria. Most communities, the Boko Haram, the terrorists have taken over. You pay tax, you pay bills for you to go to farm, for you to sell your proceeds. That was how Buhari left office. Now, today, Southwest used to be one of the peaceful region in Nigeria before Tinubu. You talk about the north and part of southeast. But as I speak with you today, if I tell you how many they killed in Kwara State, in Osho, and in Ondo, the killing in those three states is really alarming. But nobody is talking about it. Do you know why? Because do you know why these things are happening? Because these people are being asked to choose between being president of this country or between doing the right thing. And because these two men that have ruled Nigeria are all selfish people, they are all power-hungry human beings. So they always choose the power. And that is why all these Boko Haram will be doing anything. They will not have mouth to say everything. So I'm not asking you to believe me, but I'm telling you what I know and the truth.
Very good. I believe you because also I saw that body movement with our president. I saw that truly he's been he has those people in his team, and he's not only to.
It's so easy. It's so easy to talk. You know, when it's so easy to talk when we don't really understand the full stories and the inside scoop about everything. See, I honestly believe that if given the opportunity, and if all things are equal, let's just allow these people to be destroyed. Things that are happening in his own side, you know, where he might be held hostage. Yeah, politics, yes, indeed. He wants to be another 4 years, and he's going to be. But the point is this: the president can walk and chew gum at the same time. So we cannot just say that simply because he's trying to choose politics, therefore he's allowing these things, you know, these people to be doing whatever they're doing and getting away with it. Yet it's so deep, and it's so deep that if the only way that
all right, gentlemen, we need to go.
Is to bring a country like United States of America and give them the opportunity to go and wipe out these people. That's the only way it will happen. If you are waiting for us to do that, our military, which is full of complicit, you know, individuals who are their brothers, and their, you know, brothers are part of this entire saga. They don't want to go and kill them, and that's what you have to understand. It's almost like somebody describes a fly that is perched on your balls. Are you going to kill it and destroy your balls? So that's what
that reference is too raw. All right, gentlemen, we have to go. We've done some extra minutes here. PD, Thank you for coming, George. Thank you also. So we'll come back on Friday. Viewers, it's been some real heart-to-heart discussion going on because we have passion, we believe in our country, and we're concerned about a better Nigeria, like Femi would say. So to come again on Friday, God bless you guys. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.